Hello and welcome back to the second part of the fox hunt. Last time our intrepid gangers may have bitten off more than they could chew, or maybe gone slightly sideways in what they were attempting. But hey, life is full of opportunities to make mistakes, and that's how we learn. You guys were talking about some ideas you might have had, so I'm not sure. I imagine we'll do a little bit of a talk before we get straight into the game, just because we were off last week because I went to the Strawberry Festival.
Aw.
Yo, we won so many crappy little stuffed animals.
Those are the worst.
It was a carnival, so I'm pretty sure it was required that that you have to win at least something.
The only thing required at carnivals is fried dough.
Didn't see
Yeah.
any of that, but we had some Jamaican jerk chicken, some delicious sausage. There was a guy there that had dumplings, and they had this really cool cup that was actually like $10 for the cup with free refills all night. Like, that's pretty insane for a carnival.
That is pretty crazy.
But that's not why we're here today. So, it sounded before we got to recording that you guys had some things you wanted to talk about, possible avenues of action. Do you guys want to follow through with some of that?
Well, we know that woman is running away after being shot and flashbanged with her own grenade. So she's going to tell people where we are. We were going up to the roof to put the thing on, weren't we?
Yes, you and Acid were headed up to do that. I don't remember exactly where I was.
I think you were coming into the building because you heard gunshots. Like, you would have heard her shooting at me.
Yeah, that
You
sounds
also
about
shot
right.
at her.
At least I had a silencer on, though, so it'd be somewhat quiet.
Yeah,
And
I think you're
I
right.
told you before you left that I was gonna try and distract them and make sure that they followed me instead of go after you guys.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, yeah, I think I remember what my thought was. Whatever.
So, from the sounds of things, you guys are going to try and go ahead with plan of action?
Yeah, I think the roof plan is still happening.
It's just nice because it's going the way it ought to. We're gonna live up to our name as opposed to just be sneaky about it.
You mean
I'm-
the Ultraviolents went in the front door and punched everything in the face? It's ridiculous.
Usually they go in every door. Punch everything in the face.
Sometimes I didn't even go through the doors.
Yeah.
Just punch the doors.
Sometimes
Yeah.
they go through the windows in the back of trucks.
I've kicked the door so hard in D&D that I killed, what was it, 2 innocent people?
It was just one.
If they were behind a door like that, they couldn't be innocent.
Well, yeah, I mean, they were down the hallway.
Just kick the door off the hinges, smashes into someone.
Still, they had it coming.
Right?
Solid-
They shouldn't have been in that
or
hallway.
something. No, they shouldn't have.
Alright, well, I'm gonna just pick up this sheet and go upstairs
Okay.
before tangent.
I made a little bit of notes here. Interchange is currently running around in the streets with a thermal smoke grenade on his pocket, basically, vomiting forth horrific gas. Ascend is coming back around to the building where Archon and Acid are currently trying to make it to the roof to deploy their bridge to make it into the other building. Archon is on floor 2 of 3, and Acid is at the top of the stairs to floor 2. At the moment, I believe the 4 dudes that were out in the street have been horrifically murdered. There was a woman that you did have your little gun exchange with, and she ran away, as is probably a good idea. Your bulldog is 2 blocks away from here, if memory serves.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is there anything else I feel like we're missing?
Sounds right to me.
I can't think of anything else.
We killed like 5 dudes. I don't know if you remember that part.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's
he
like
did mention dead in the alley.
the 4 dudes that were out in the street.
Yeah.
After a couple of combat turns, so that and many, many bullets were fired all over the place. So, stealth is officially out every single window in an action movie dive scene.
Well, just for me, really, because most of the gunshots came from where I am, and I'm currently walking around with a smoke grenade attached to me.
Yeah,
So-
but at the same time, it's going to very quick. Well, no, because the girl that was in the building knows that there was some shenanigans going down.
Right.
Yes, but
Yeah.
we don't
Yeah.
know where she's coming out because I'm not in that building yet.
No, you were coming
So-
down the.
True. Well, over this, I'll as I'm getting metal sheep, I'll DNI to the other two, saying this is where this woman was. I shot her twice through the wall. She's bleeding. Finish her off.
So
She's
If I were
human.
there, it would have happened already.
Yeah.
yeah,
No.
stupid humans just
You're there.
failing all across the board.
Probably felt empathy for that other pig.
Hey, you leave Bomb out of this. Bomb has done nothing wrong to you.
I'm
Alright.
the best.
So, you guys are going up to the roof. Ascend is going into the building looking for whoever she was.
Yes.
Okay. And Interchange, are you,
I'm going to be just trying to get their attention, so hanging out until I see them, and then go into an alleyway. Still using smoke grenade. If I need to use another one, I'll use another one. Just constantly be in smoke.
Alright. So let me get a perception test from Ascend, or a tracking test if you have that, to try and track down this woman.
I do not have that, so I will do perceptions.
Alright, let me,
Sniff her out, cause blood.
visual perception audit. Okay. So you're kind of walking around the... Well, where are you searching for this woman?
Well, he gave me enough information to let me go.
I would have said basically, this is where we are. This is where she was. There are the bullet holes behind there.
All right, so so I have at least a quadrant of the building that I would have. Where are doors? If I went around to the side that it seemed she would be closest to, was there a door on that side?
There was a door on that side. It was currently closed when you were walking by. I guess you're more of a light jog to get to the back of the building because you're, on commie, right? Everybody's on commie.
Mhm.
Commie's great.
Yep,
Tommy's great.
Tommy is great.
So you're kind of coming up to the building. The door is not open, so it doesn't look like she came running out of that door. And Archon and Acid, did you guys leave the back door open when you went inside?
I want to say we
Uh,
closed them behind us, but I don't remember.
I went in first.
Yeah, then it's
Oh,
definitely not closed in that case, because I wouldn't
Okay.
have bothered with the thing.
So then Ascend, when you came around to the back door was open. And as you begin to search that kind of lower area of the floor of the building, you are unable to find her.
Let's see. Oh, that's right. Shit. Could I specifically look for blood trail, or is that just kind of included in this?
Do you have any way to? I forget what alternate vision modes.
I have tetrachromic.
Okay.
I don't. That's what I was just killing time looking for. Was if I had thermal, and I don't appear to.
Yeah, you do. You're
Well,
gnome.
you have it for being a gnome unless you have cyber eyes.
Oh, I forgot all about that.
I
That's
tell you what,
fancy.
you can. I'm pretty sure you can default on tracking. So if you want to roll that, we can see if you can maybe find a trail
Maybe.
and then maybe follow it.
When you have thermographic bio eyes, does that just mean you get a static bonus to visual perception?
Tetrachromic gives you +3 to visual perception.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But my thermal graphic vision that I forgot I even have. Should I have rolled extra dice for that?
It just
No.
gives you it removes penalties and/or gives you the option to see certain things. Like you could look at a car and see if it had been recently turned off.
Mm-hmm.
However, blood that has hit the ground for a couple of seconds will very quickly become the same temperature as the ground.
Sure.
So, like, that wouldn't show up to your thermographic, which in this case is not the hood of a car.
Right. Okay. And tracking is what? Intellect?
Intuition, I believe.
Intuition, yeah. That's what I mean. Alright. Then 4.
You can do it.
Track that bitch. Archon, were you using murder bullets or were you using stick and shock?
APDS.
Man, what a bastard. Alright.
In fairness, the guns were preloaded with them because I decided to do that.
It's like, well, I could go non-lethal, but
I was gonna say, if you're gonna shoot at me, I'm not really gonna, dick around with you.
right. So good news is you can see that there is a couple of pieces of furniture that have been knocked aside, like in the immediate area where you see the canister from where the flashbang went off. Obviously, that stuff is kind of a mess, but you can see that it went into another room, and then you kind of lose her in there.
Okay.
But you know that that is the direction she went, which is towards the front door and towards, I guess, kind of the side technically, like, but not. It was not out the back and was not, up or downstairs from what you can see.
Okay. Then I'm going to primarily just make my way toward the front door. Of course, try and look for her, but I'm assuming that she's, heading that way to go make contact with someone.
And a beautiful thing when you have a comm link, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like this is all pointless because she made. They all made everybody aware as soon as we were sighted every time. So
Yeah.
that's okay.
The thing is, at the moment, my thinking is at the moment they don't know we're actually in the building, although we're going up, or that we have this giant sheet, because none of that was seen. So if she at least doesn't get to reveal that, it means we'll at least be able to get some element of surprise.
Yep.
When we get onto the roof and break in through the skylights.
Batman style.
Well, I was thinking Van Damme, but Batman works.
It is clearly Batman. I am pretty sure he has invested money into all of the buildings, and not all of the buildings, all of the companies that create buildings and floor plans and stuff in Gotham City, so to make sure that they all have skylights, so that he has emergency access.
It wouldn't surprise me.
The weakest point of Bruce Wayne's hidden identity is the fact that he has a foundation built specifically for getting skylights put into every building.
I mean,
And
if
people
you
can't
think about
figure
it,
out why.
it's green. You're not spending electricity to light the inside of buildings, and it's aesthetically pleasing or some other crap.
And it's great in Gotham's cold winters because you can help warm the outside with your poor insulation.
Exactly. That's what makes it so wonderful.
Because it should only be one layer and not too thick.
Yeah, it's got to be just thick enough to support somebody standing on it, but not somebody jumping on it.
Right.
And we say jumping and not falling from a height because, who falls from a height on the skylights?
I know, right? It's crazy people.
What are we all, Batman or something?
I know,
right? Anyway,
yes. So, Interchange, you are running around like a crazy person, or are you trying to do something specific out there?
What was that, me? That you just said?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
you.
I'm looking for, basically what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to try and find an alleyway that has a fire escape on it or something. And then I'm going to basically leave a smoke grenade going in the alleyway and then just go up the fire escape. Hopefully with smoke kind of blocking vision from the street.
Fire escape on which building?
Just any building that's around.
Sure. I have a very important question.
Uh-huh.
You're like 3 foot tall, right?
Yep.
How are you getting to the base level of a fire escape?
Right. So, that is a very good question. There are a few ways that I might be able to do it. One would be if the fire escape's already down, just because it's a rundown, it's in the Barrens, so everything's broken probably. 2 would be if there's like a dumpster or something in there. And then 3 would be some kind of parkour nonsense.
All right, let's start with 1. You want to go ahead and roll me an edge test, and we'll see whether or not you find a broken one.
is there a step stool factory in this?
All right, I am sad. There is no conveniently already down fire escape. Which of your well, let's roll a perception test. Let's see what kind of things we can create in this environment as my cat thinks he's a dog and goes to chase his tail. So with 4 hits, you can hear the on the kind of edge of your hearing, you can hear a loud engine revving up in a very unsafe method of driving is about to take place. Maybe some high-speed dangerousness. There are some lights that are going on in buildings around you. There is indeed a fire escape on the back of this other building that you have ran to. It's one of those kinds where the ladder goes straight up and is currently jacked up as though it were a Dark Souls shortcut. There was a dumpster, but it was in the next alley over. So
That's the garbage.
There's a ladder?
Yeah, it's one of those things where like the ladder isn't on the ground; it's up high enough that like cars and stuff can go underneath of it. And then if you're escaping from the building in a fire, like you can hit a release up there, and it'll drop the ladder down so you can get down and out.
Right.
Also, so people don't climb up the building for no reason.
Is it possible that I could parkour up there?
See, it would need a really high roll because you are really short.
Well, how many hits would I need?
At the moment, unless you can come up with some other thing to use to assist you, I'm looking at like 4 or 5.
Do you have any rope with you?
I don't have any rope.
I can't believe you don't have a grappling hook built into that hand.
I wanted to. I tried to, but you should see the amount of shit that I have in this arm. And a grappling hook is like 10.
I think that's the grapple.
The grapple hand. The grappling hook is like 6, I think.
Something like that.
Well, now that I heard that car engine, that's piqued my interest. So, I think is this? I wouldn't have turned down a dead end alleyway. So,
Oh no, these are all you can go forward and.
Yeah, so I'm gonna run around the alleyway and like try and come out a different opening without a thermal grenade going, thermal smoke going.
You're still
That's
gonna
my
leave the
plan.
one in the.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that one in the alleyway.
Alright, let me see if I can get this. That doesn't seem to want to work. Ah, there it goes. Yep. So you can. So you're leaving it right here, at, like the bottom of these particular steps. Or you just ditching it in this alley.
Just ditching it in the alleyway.
All right. This
Maybe
alleyway
like
is.
behind a dumpster or something, so it looks like maybe I'm I'm hiding there or something.
Sure. This alleyway now looks very suspicious.
Yes.
Um. So while you're running around looking for that, Acid and Archon, you guys have made it to the 3rd floor. Is there anything you wanted to do before you got up here?
Take a look around to see if anyone else is going to shoot me.
Summon an air spirit so we know if we get assaulted by random magic. So I don't have to walk around astrally perceiving.
According to my notes here, you still have 3 services on a Force Force Fire Spirit.
Yeah, but what if I need all 3 of those?
Well, I'm just like you can't have multiple summoned spirits at the same time.
Oh, well that's garbage. I forget about that every time. Well, he can do it then.
Okay, so you're having the Fire Spirit be on the lookout for astral threats or magical threats?
Yes.
Okay. So if you guys want to roll perception as you ascend the things to be ascended.
I will roll my visual.
Should I roll for the fire spirit?
I am looking up his thingy.
I have that sort of stuff somewhere.
Sure.
Spirits,
So page
Fire.
300 or something.
What is perception based off?
Intuition?
It's
Force plus
yeah,
1.
So it would be 9 for him.
Yes.
Well, I got plenty of successes.
And that 2 was for your Fire Spirit, or that 2 was for you?
That is for the fire spirit.
Okay, so I will keep in mind
And
that he
my-
is.
Perception should be 9 for visual. So I rolled 7 because probably we need to hear things before we need to not get shot. That is high.
Ah, you guys got piles of successes. So you guys are going to come up to the roof. There is one of those nice little exits onto it. As you step out into the air, assuming that you do, or are you guys opening the door, or are you?
I mean, Acid is at front, so it's up to her.
Are you going to open the door, or are you just going to kind of go up to it? Or
Tricks.
maybe you're muted.
Oh, I'm sorry, what?
Were you
you
opening the
since you're
door, or are
in
you
front.
guys just kind of going up to it and listening?
Yeah, I'm walking ahead. I'm sort of carefully walking ahead, but
Okay.
I'm not like putting my ear to the door before I open it. Just sort of sneaking, I guess.
Sure. So as you listen to the door with your 4 hits, you will hear a loud car being, like when that asshole with a motorcycle drives down your street. You can kind of hear that noise going on out there somewhere. You don't hear anybody like on the rooftops or anybody really talking. And as you kind of push out into the night, it's kind of a nice, cool night. And then you're gonna be able to see that there's some lights going on in some buildings, but not exactly as nearby as like Interchange and such can see it, because they are ground level. But you can see that there's, a block block or two away, there's lights that are clicking on, and things are maybe getting a little hectic. Archon, as you step out, you will see that there is some headlights that are coming down the road.
I'm gonna DNI this to everyone, and kind of do my best to, I don't know, crouch behind the metal sheet that I'm carrying. And then I'm gonna basically look for where the bit from our building to the building we want to go is, so we can start laying out the metal sheet.
Yep, no, that's pretty easy to do because that building is to your right. So, I imagine you don't have any kind of actual engineering type knowledge stuff, do you?
No. From what I understood, it was literally just, it is a huge sheet that I literally just would drop on it.
So do me a favor, and let's just have you roll a quick stealth roll, and we'll see how much of a horrific noise this makes.
Not so much.
Not so much. Lucky you. I was really hoping to have you glitch it and like drop it down in between the buildings. Like, fuck.
So I just be like, right, I'm just gonna fucking jump it. I can do that.
So yeah, you guys have set up a bridge of sorts. It's not pretty, but it's there. Ascend, you are on the first floor as far as I know.
Mm-hmm.
What is it you wish to do before we go?
So this car, it was coming apparently toward this building?
It seemed that way. From what Archon mentioned, the headlights were pointed in your direction.
Okay. Do I have? I think I do.
Uh-oh.
But fuck. Apparently I don't. Thought I had grenades.
I gave you 2 grenades.
I thought so. I guess I just didn't add it into Chummer. Are these wireless grenades?
They're just standard frag grenades.
All grenades are wireless.
Grenades? Yeah, grenades are wireless unless they're specifically not wireless.
Okay, so I'm going to plant one grenade at the front door and go take a position to blow people up and not also blow up with them. Also, I'm going to take out my gun and prep the flamethrower.
First question is going to be, what kind of grenade is it?
Frag grenade.
Frag?
Frag grenade.
18p damage, plus 5 AP.
Yep. It was more just so that I know when somebody tries to come in, they bad things happen to them.
Yeah.
Second question is, do you have any kind of relevant skill towards setting traps outside of just kind of winging it with a string?
I do not.
Okay. Do you want to go ahead and just roll your logic -1 for your defaulted demo test?
Sure. What do we got? Oh, that's
the pin.
That is a small number.
That is a small number.
Could always,
I
pre-edge it.
No, I believe in him, and I'm not going to murder him hard. I'm not going to. He's not so incompetent as to blow it up in his own face.
Right. It's just, I'm like, well, I don't want it right next to the door. They might push it over. I'll go put it around the corner behind the stairs.
Yeah. No.
I got my one hit.
There you go. It is.
Maximum hits. That's got to count for something.
That does totally count for. It counts for something indeed. So, do you want to then just roll me a stealth check, and we'll see how well you have found cover with a good firing line at the front door.
For a second, I thought that was 9 hits.
Yeah, me too. I thought it was 1 at the first time.
Disappointed in that, but that means I'm gonna do extra good punching.
When the rabid gnome attacks.
Punch all the people I've set on fire.
Whoops, as I click on the wrong link. Interchange, I believe you mentioned something about being on the car.
Yeah, my plan was to like be running around the building towards where I heard the engine start, because I'm assuming that like everything that's going on outside of the building is my job, and causing a distraction is probably dealing with that car. Will probably go hand in hand. So
Yeah, it's probably reinforcements.
The only thing I'm worried about is currently we've only got me and Acid and a fire spirit to actually go into this building to get what we wanted.
well, Sun's right behind you.
True. It's not just salivating over blowing people up.
Right. And, there's no way they figured out that that's our plan.
I mean, they're pretty sure stabification is part of your plan, and maybe shooterizing, but maybe not explosions quite yet.
They'll figure out soon
Well,
enough.
I mean breaking into the adjacent building with an incredible amount of value locked away into it.
Yeah.
It's definitely a coincidence that we're here.
I did have one question before we continue. On the roof of the building we want to go into, are there any skylights?
No.
That's a shame.
You will not be Batmaning, I'm sorry.
No, that's what I was just going to basically just drop a grenade down it.
Yeah, no, sorry.
Right. Okay.
We
Um,
have a grappling hook?
Do you have a grappling hook?
No, I don't. That's ridiculous. Why did I not buy one?
I don't know. I
That's
can't
stupid.
answer that question.
Interesting use of a grappling hook. What would happen if you pointed it and you fired it at someone's ankle, right? Could you shoot through and then latch onto the other side of their leg, so you eventually just drag them towards you?
It has a damage code.
So yeah, so you could potentially do that. That's quite
So I would do it as a they have an entanglement for the whip martial art, and I would do it kind of like that. Is how I would do it, which I think is a -4. I would potentially, with a grapple gun, throw an additional negative on there, just because this is very much not how that is intended to be used.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So Interchange, if you want to give me either a perception, a tracking, give me something to have you find this car, and we'll
Sure,
see
I'm just
how.
gonna do a perception. 3 hits.
All right. It is very obviously not moving stealthily. Quite the opposite, as you begin to hear some terrible wolf howls. And I'm sorry, not wolf howls, fox howls. I don't know what a fox howl sounds like, but I imagine.
Yip.
It's like a bitch
it's a
stupid version.
Yeah, it's a really high pitched yip. They make a lot of yeet sort of noises.
Oh god, it's fucking terrible.
It is. It's unpleasant to listen to.
This is the worst other gang that you've ever made.
The night is still young.
We'll see.
Yeah, we may have to come up with new ones after tonight, right? So.
No, we're not asking what does the fox say. How dare you? But yeah, no, you will be able to kind of. Are you trying to hide from this, or are you trying to actively engage them?
Trying to actively engage them.
Okay, so I have this scene of the action movie thing where you kind of take 2 steps out and square up with the car as it's coming riding towards you.
Okay.
Unless you have something else in mind as actively engaging them.
Well, I have a couple questions, right?
Okay.
So, first question would be, how crazy of an idea would it be to, just assuming that I am able to do this, how crazy of an idea would it be to try and jump fist first through their windshield?
So, we're going to come back to that unfortunate thing again of you being a 3-foot-tall gnome.
Yep.
So if you had something that you could use to boost yourself up, it would be significantly easier.
Well, I don't even know what kind of car. Is it a car or is it a truck? Is it?
You have some kind of automotive-related thing, right?
Yeah, I'm a mechanic.
Yeah, go ahead and throw that, and we'll see if I can how much of the exact type of vehicle I can tell you. 2 hits. All right, so it is a car. It is like
Okay.
an Americar or a Jackrabbit or
Right.
something
so, like,
along
the front
those
of the
lines.
car, the front of the car is probably like a meter high, right?
Yeah. So you really just need something to get you like 1 footstep into the air,
Right. Um.
just so you clear the hood, so you don't.
That's worth a gymnastics check. You can make it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I'm really hoping it just flies right out the back.
I will also say that there is probably going to be a damage soak on your behalf for
I figured.
dive. Okay, good. I'm glad because as much
Basically,
as
my question was, what kind of damage soak would I be expecting? Is it like in the 20s, or is it like, because like stuntmen like purposely go into windshields to soften their blow,
right.
and the fact that I would be using maybe my spur or something to like break the glass before I get there.
Well,
If you want to do damage to my spur or something, that'd be fine. Sorry, I didn't know if I could leverage that somehow.
Let me take a look at the barrier ratings real quick just to see what the.
Sure.
So I'm going to guess that a car windshield is going to be a average material, furniture, plasticboard, ballistic glass, which is structure for armor 6.
Okay.
So it is probably fairly easy for you to
Break it.
break is an odd word because it's going to be one of those things because at least if memory serves, when you do enough force to a windshield to break it, it just kind of like spiderwebs into a singular piece.
Okay.
I imagine like your spurs would go through it, and then you would have a loose windshield kind of on the end of your arm, which probably, with enough momentum, would be carried forward by you through into probably the console section in between the drivers and the passenger seat.
All right. And how would we determine that?
That would depend upon how good your roll comes out, basically, as to whether or not you just you bug splat on the windshield or you make it through.
Okay.
I go into the hood.
However, let me take a quick look at the vehicles.
This is a crazy plan, so I want to try it.
Yeah, no, I am all about it. I got to shoot a grenade out of the air the other night. It was -13 to do it, but it was great.
Nice.
I just had this brilliant image of just this flying gnome just coming out this windscreen, smashing into it, smashing into some guy's head, like yanking his head off as he goes through and just flying out the other windscreen and landing on his feet, just holding the head like a football.
This is Interchange's anime moment.
Yeah.
Well, we already have the jousting thing
Yeah.
where the guy was running a motorcycle at me and I punched him off of it.
It's true.
I mean, I have a deep-seated desire to counter-strike somebody on a bike, but I will never get the option to do that, I don't think, for a long time. Here's the ramming damage table.
It's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
So meters per turn. Okay.
It's like times body or something like that in damage.
Oh, yeah. 1 to 10 is body divided in 2. 11 to 50 is body. 51 to 200 is body times 2. Jesus Christ. That gets crazy really quick.
Yeah.
So what I'm feeling, and let me know how you feel about this,
Yep.
is an unarmed attack versus his driving pool to get you on target and for him to not either like slam on the brakes and have you fall flat or to accelerate to ram into you or something along those lines.
Sure.
Followed by like your gymnastics to reduce the amount of damage from the car hitting you, and it will probably be its body because it's definitely going faster than 10 meters per turn because they are trying to pull the old drive-by on you.
The damage code will be the car's body.
Yes, which for a Matter car is 11.
Right.
And then you can use the gymnastics to kind of roll with it, and then a soak test to reduce it. Does that sound completely kosher?
what if I break through the windshield though? Would I still take the damage?
So you are still going to be landing on something and breaking the windshield. Like, some of that damage is going to be when that windshield spider webs. It is going to have little tiny pieces of sharp glass.
Right.
And you are still coming to an abrupt stop inside of a vehicle.
Could however good my hit is, reduce the damage that I take? Like, because basically that's more like me pushing through it and possibly cushioning myself with. I know it's a weird concept, but like cushioning myself with the windshield, because I'm not hitting the hard part of the car, right?
Yeah, you are hitting the part. You are hitting the part of the car that will give. That is for sure.
Right.
We can roll it and we can see what happens.
Okay. Well, do I get my charging bonus for this?
I'm gonna say no, because you're gonna have to find like a trash can or something to like physically step on to throw yourself a little higher.
Okay. All right. So you want my my spur attack, right?
Yes, please.
My unarmed. Or which do you want first?
You can do the spur attack first, as Skype randomly mutes me.
Sure. 5 hits.
Not bad.
Let's see if he's the best driver of the night.
You gotta be kidding me.
Ouch!
So, good news, that is a glancing hit. So you have still come into physical contact with the car. As the car is still moving, what is the base damage of your punch?
It's 11.
Okay, so I will just roll versus the base damage of your spur punch.
Okay.
So that's 11 minus 2, right?
Yep.
So it soaks 4, which means it takes 7, which, if memory serves, is higher than its
Yeah, it's
structure.
6.
Structure was 6, I think.
Structure is 4. So yes, you have spiderwebbed out the windshield, and it is no longer in its housing. However, like, the passenger seat guy has got his hands up and he's kind of holding it back.
Yeah.
You know that scene in Jurassic Park where the T-Rex is kind of pushed through the sunroof?
I'm the T-Rex.
You are now the T-Rex.
Awesome.
So, passenger has both hands kind of pushing up. Driver has one hand, still one hand on the wheel, I guess, that they would still have in the Sixth World, but whatever. You may go ahead and roll your gymnastics and then your soak versus 11. As you have impacted...
I'm assuming parkour.
It could be parkour, because you probably had to do some crazy jump to get up into the air off of something.
Well, I mean, he's falling just horizontally.
He's falling with style. Alright, so you're down to 8 damage.
Okay. Yeah, so let's see how much armor I have, because I don't know. 21. And I have 2 body. Oh, I have 4 body right now, because of Kami.
Gotta love them drugs.
Gotta love them
You
drugs.
could probably soak most of that 8, in fairness.
Yeah.
If you roll lucky.
I didn't roll. That was only... Is that right?
I see 2 plus 21 plus some other stuff in there.
Yeah, I have 2 more dice, so...
Because you don't have your drugs.
Faster than Kami.
Damn
2
it!
hits. Yes!
Beautiful.
Alright.
Mega gnome.
So you are currently on the hood of this car with with 4 foxes screaming kind of crazily in there, because
Yeah, I'm screaming crazily right back at him.
what is going on?
This frothy mouth gnome is trying to break into our car via windshield.
As you Tyrannosaurus Rex the windshield, it is still kind of like the pointy part of your spurs is poked through to the other side. So it's like kind of mounted on your hand for the moment.
Right.
And they're kind of pushing back against it, and it is a wonderful picture of chaos.
I love it. It's awesome.
That was when you jump back off and disappear into the night.
It's like, what just happened? Okay. Yeah, no, that's a thing that happened. Archon and Acid, you guys have a bridge that you may cross now.
Well,
Do they hear this?
Um, so they would probably be hearing them like yipping, like they're gonna come pull a drive-by on some assholes,
Yeah.
and then they would hear the yipping stop. As I imagine, there's also because he got in a lot of hits on his driving test, a little squeal of brakes.
I just love that series of events of like, hey, there's a car coming, on it.
Well, bridge. I would like to cross the bridge.
Sure.
On their roof, is there any sort of noticeable traps or doors down or air vents or anything like that?
You may go ahead and roll a perception test, and we'll see how much insane stuff you will see.
Yes. I am visualizing and actualizing. I see a lot of stuff.
So with 5 successes, you see some headlights that are slightly swerving back and forth. You can only assume that interchange has something to do with that. There is a similar like one of those rooftop angle thingies that leads up to the door that you just came out of on this roof. Anything else in particular you are looking for?
Like sort of air vents, like
There
you
are a
have the
couple of
vents sort of
those
leading out.
little pipes that have little rain shields over top of them, but not like something you could
Excellent.
climb down.
No, that wasn't what I was thinking. Are they big enough for a grenade?
Potentially, like at the top here, you could definitely fit one in, but it is kind of curious on how far down it will go before it gets lodged into somewhere.
yeah, I think the
Yeah.
likelihood that blowing someone actually up really unlikely.
It was more like
Uh,
just screwing with the building and getting them going to that place so we can go somewhere else.
We are trying not to attract attention to us so we don't get murdered.
I mean it was probably a distraction. Like go
That's
to
why-
one end of the building, put it in, and then go to the other end and go in.
No, we already have plenty of distraction. We don't need any more distraction.
I like distraction though. Alright, yeah, I will my sword is still sheathed and I'll make sure I got my pistol in my hand. And I'll go wait at the door and wait for Acid to pop round.
Well, I'm behind you.
Okay,
Sort
I
of.
don't know if you're following or not.
I am sort of hesitant to cross the bridge with only the two of us. Also, there's murder happening in the street, which wasn't part of the plan.
Murder hasn't happened quite yet. Like, it had happened earlier, and it will probably happen very soon. But,
It counts.
I was gonna say we have to do the best of what we got.
There's murder ongoing in the streets.
Hopefully there'll be murder
Oh.
ongoing in the building as well.
so you guys are. I'm sorry, Acid, were you trying to audible out of the plan, or were you trying to.
Trying not to get shot by a mage. And
Okay.
More other people.
So, good news, you are currently not being maged.
I guess I will hesitantly follow after.
Okay, so
Archon.
you guys approach the other door, and it is, assuming that you try it, locked.
Is it a physical lock?
Not one that you can access from this side.
Okay, so I couldn't picklock it essentially.
Yeah, there's no.
I can melt the door with my acid spell.
Go
We
for it.
went over this before the first session. It takes like a minute or so to melt through a
Yeah.
wall.
Let me just step more than 3 meters away from you.
Yeah, that's probably smart. Well, more than 3 meters away from the door, really.
Oh dear. Okay, I will step 4 meters away from both of you. And I will look huffy while doing it.
So are you trying to melt the whole door down, or are you trying to do something a little bit more?
Well, if we just melt the lock part, like the bolt, that'd be sufficient.
Okay. Do you want to go ahead and give me a spellcasting test, and we will see how good you do, and what force are you just in general kind of casting this at?
Well, I guess for 1 meter radius of the cloud.
Sure.
So you only need a little bit.
Because you're also going to have to roll your drain and stuff too.
I have notes for this. No, the notes are not here.
Uh-oh.
Well, I don't know what the power of the acid is relevantly to the force. So let's just do it at 3. That'll be enough for the door.
Sure. There you go. And then your drain. And it's going to take you probably like 30-ish seconds to melt through it enough to really get...
The drain is force -3 because I have it basically as I cast it with my Fuki.
Yep.
You can always take a minimum of 2 drain though.
Okay.
Okay.
There you go.
So that'll take you a couple of seconds. Ascend, if you want to go ahead and roll me a perception test downstairs, and we'll see what happens.
Alright.
So with 4 hits on a visual perception, you will begin to hear I'm sorry, not hear. You're going to feel the temperature start to rise in here, and you're going to see a bit of a shimmer of heat start to kind of coalesce in the old lobby here.
Oh, you're fucked.
Mm.
You're so screwed.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave.
How would you like to leave, sir?
Toward the back of the building.
Okay. Are you running, or are you trying to be sneaky, or...
I'm sneaking quickly.
Okay, you may go ahead and roll your sneaking. And we'll see whether or not this...
Oh, damn.
Oh, I wanted the spirit to find you.
It might.
Well, I have almost no astral signature either.
Really? Does being a gnome affect your astral signature?
No.
Having like 0.01 essence might.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
It just means that your essence is shredded, but you still have the same kind of signature as all the rest of the mundanes.
I would say they're just you're kind of a blank space when they're looking,
okay.
rather than the colours.
You look like one of the humanity sprites.
Mm.
Okay.
So you kind of beat feet towards the back door.
After. I don't know. I wouldn't have any experience in how long it usually takes a spirit to form. That's for sure.
About 3 seconds.
Yeah,
it's
but he would have
a complex
no idea.
action.
Um,
He might. You were friends with Macy before they were arrested, right?
Yeah.
Presumably they had been a mage already at that time.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
So you might have
Then
some
I
idea.
will give it. Yeah. I will give it a few seconds and set off that grenade.
Okay. There is a loud explosion that rips through the front of this building, dealing a Let me open.
And I'm going to DNI to everybody. Fire spirit.
You probably want to head towards my direction then.
I feel like a building would be reinforced material. That sound about right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So 25.
Unless it's drywall, in which case it's paper material.
So the front side of this building suffers major structural damage as a grenade goes off. taking off the front door, blowing out what's left of the glass in the windows, but good news, they were mostly, if memory serves, replaced with planking and wood and stuff, because, gang territory, first floor windows.
Makes sense.
But yeah, no, regardless of what happens throughout the rest of the night, you have left your mark on their territory. Are you trying to make your way to the roof, or are you trying to, I'm not sure what you want to do about the questionable amount of damage this might have done for the fire spirit.
I am not heading toward the roof. I need to let them do what they're doing up there. I'm just headed out the back of the building and to assist in distraction /
More help
prevention.
would be nice, to be honest.
You would probably know that mages can't look through walls, and that counts for spirits too.
Well, spirit's inside, and I'm not.
Not anymore.
So you can play hide and seek with spirit. It's just when it finds you, that's gonna be fun times.
Gotta go fast.
Spirit's probably faster.
It's one of those things where it is slightly bound by the movement speed and physical, as it is probably searching. If it were to take the time to dematerialize, to hunt him down, and then rematerialize, that would be different. Speaking of going fast, Interchange, do you want to go ahead? The man who is driving is attempting to swing the car back and forth wildly to shake you off as per standard action movie thing. I'm thinking maybe a strength plus body to hold on, or...
Sure, do I get a bonus for being stuck in the windshield?
I was going to give you 2 for the AP on the spurs that are currently embedded in the car.
Cool. So, strength plus body, huh? So that's...
You can use the strength of your arm, since that's what is impaled there.
Right. So that's 14 dice. Whoa.
You are able to maintain firmly attached to the hood / windshield of this vehicle. What would you like to do? As I fear.
I'm gonna try and pull my arm out of the windshield, or
Okay.
pull the windshield off, however that works.
Well, that should be pretty easy for you to do, because you are the only one of the 3 of you guys that has their hands on it that has any kind of actual
Leverage.
purchase on it, because your spurs are sticking through it.
Right. So I want to do that, and then I want to take a grenade off of my belt and throw it in the car, and then jump off.
Okay. Are you talking about one of your thermal smoke grenades, or
No, like an actual grenade.
Oh no. Well, good news, that is all totally plausible. However, there are 2 men in the back seat that definitely have some kind of weaponry who are probably going to shoot at you, just to make you aware.
Yeah, that's why I want to jump off the car. So they just get their first shots, and then I'm out of here.
Okie dokie.
Try and hide behind the driver so they shoot them, and then drive into a wall
And blow up.
and squash you.
And roll to not look at it.
Yeah. So, I'm going to use my pulse weave armor.
Is that the rave party armor?
Yeah, it's a flash pack on my chest, basically.
Great.
Yeah,
I love and loathe everything about this situation right now. So, I'm not sure what you want to roll to rip off the...
Strength plus body?
Yeah, I guess it would just be a lift carry.
Okay. So, am I using the arm, or am I using my body, or...
You can use the arm, since it is literally what is
Right.
impaled into it, but not the +2, because the spurs allow you to make the roll as opposed to...
Sure. Hot damn.
Yeah, that is way more than enough to not so surgically remove the windshield. However, these guys are going to get the opportunity to DACA you.
Sure. -4 or -2 if they have the flare compensation or whatever.
Man, they get way less dice then. So
I'm gonna full defense.
that sounds like a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
Do you want to go ahead and roll initiative real quick, just to see how many things
sure.
you can do?
Sure, no problem.
Because a full defense may result in you unable to
No.
leap off to safety.
No.
Oh God! All right, yep, never mind. So you can definitely get your 3 actions of rip thing off, throw grenades in, leap to safety.
Yeah. Actually, I rolled one too many dice, so it's only a 32. But...
Yeah, no, it's still enough.
Yeah. So, I gotta roll another dodge.
Yeah, a dodge at -1.
Yeah.
All right, never
Minus
mind.
4. So I only did -3. Sorry. So it doesn't affect it.
Excellent. So you have soaked or not been shot, basically.
And then I drop a. What kind of grenades do I have?
I
An
don't
HE
know.
grenade. Why not?
Sure. You want to roll me a thrown weapons test?
Sure. Does it count when I'm dropping it at my feet?
Yes, because you are on a non-stable platform of a moving vehicle,
Fair enough.
and it'll be a -2 just because of being on a car.
Sure.
And who knows? It may scatter in the direction you want to jump.
Maybe. I have 2 hits.
Let me open up.
Dropping a high explosive grenade at your feet.
Yep. And
Determine.
then I'm diving off the car. That's moving very quickly.
Yep, that'll be some road rash for you in just a second.
Totally. But I like my chances there better than on the car with 4 people with guns.
So a 9. That will put it right in the driver's lap. How unfortunate.
That does sound unfortunate.
I give them a nice wink. They can't even see through my mask.
I'm winking at you so hard. Yeah, if you want to go ahead and roll your gymnastics, and then we'll
Sure.
we'll see about that soaking road rash.
Hot damn.
Nicely done.
Can I say that I landed on the windshield?
Yeah, I mean that doesn't sound like a particular safe idea, as it's a bunch of spiderwebbed glass. But hey,
Safer than landing on the ground, I think. Like using like a
Windshields
skateboard
are-
kind of deal.
Safety glass. It doesn't have sharp edges.
Right.
yeah, if you want to go ahead and just soak like 5, that'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
It's still gonna embed into your skin though.
Alright.
Excellent.
Perfect tuck roll superhero landing explosion behind you.
Awesome.
And with that, we should probably take a quick break. 'Cause I know I need to go get a drink, and we'll see what happens. That was surprisingly masterfully done.
Thank you.
Did you just blow up a car?
Did you do a front flip off the hood onto the street?
Right.
I think you just get a DNI back. You'll see the video later.
Don't worry,
Okay.
it's going up on my me feed.
Yeah.